The countdown to kickoff continues. We are one show closer to the 2025 Flames football season, but who's counting, right? Hey there, welcome to Flame Central. As always, alongside Matt Warner, I'm Emily Austin.
Yeah, the coverage of Liberty football heating up this week. We also mixed in a little bit of fun, but you know, you've been getting the question I've been getting all off season long. The big question has been, will the Flames Fantasy League return this year? And yes, the answer is yes. We draft our teams in just moments.
Yeah, I'm sure most people were thinking that big question might have been about Liberty's quarterback battle, but equally as important, Flames Fantasy is back. You know it's going to be a good show when Joe Yock is in the house. But first, let's talk about the real football team. The Flames held their final scrimmage on Saturday and wrapped up fall camp this week. Now, Liberty has officially turned its attention to its first opponent, the Maine Black Bears. As you may know, there was plenty of competition among each position group going into fall camp. The most notable, the ongoing quarterback battle, which has been narrowed down between Ethan Vasco and Ryan Berger. But with depth charts mostly set, head coach Jamey Chadwell feels confident that fall camp was a success.
You know, success is defined different ways. And so did we maximize the time we had to get better? Yes. So I would say, yes, that's a positive. I would love to see us continue to, one, have more urgency, and then some just more consistency every day as far as just knowing that every day matters. I think we're still not where we need to be there yet, but this team does like to practice. I think there's success in that. And when you can come through it, you know, healthy, that's always a positive too.
Well, it's the moment we've all been waiting for.
Oh, we've been waiting.
Oh, yeah. The sixth annual. Can you believe it?
No.
Sixth annual Flames Fantasy Draft. If you don't know much about the history of this whole league, well, let me get you caught up to speed because Matt won the first 2 years.
That's right.
I won back-to-back following that. And then we wanted Joe to come back this year.
Who's the champ?
So
Who's the champ?
Your defending champion is Joe Yock. So it should be exciting to see if he's able to pull off the back-to-back.
They ask me what is the most important championship that you've won?
Yeah.
And I always tell the folks out there, it's the next one, which would be this one.
Never
right
satisfied.
Now. Never satisfied.
Okay, we'll see because
the
he had
Nick
Quentin
Saban
Cooley
of fantasy draft is what they call me.
He had Quentin Cooley last year, so he's not going to have him this year. But for those of us who haven't known about the Flames Fantasy Draft, Matt, tell them a little bit about our league.
All right, let's tell you how this works out. It's a fantasy league. We go 3 offensive players, 2 defensive players. So 5 players total per roster. It's kind of your standard fantasy scoring, half point per reception, and then all your traditional points for tackles and sacks on the defensive side. Now, injuries are a factor here. If a player gets injured, you can automatically swap out for someone else. Otherwise, after 4 weeks, we will have our kind of free agent window where then you're able to make a change to your roster. So you can't be swapping out every single week. Emily couldn't handle that kind of decision-making on a week-to-week basis.
True. Well, Joe hasn't even been around the football facility, so he wouldn't even know who else to pick.
All right, so because Emily finished in last place last year, she gets the first pick. We'll go Emily, then me, then Joe, a standard snake draft. So, Emily, you get the honor.
Wait, I mean, usually we're playing for bragging rights, but last year I ordered us a trophy to play for.
This is the storyline of the season.
The one year that Joe Yock wins it, the trophy is completely missing.
Can I make a plea right now to the folks out there? We have cash we will offer for any information as to the whereabouts of this trophy. We do not know where it is right now.
Yeah.
We want to get it back.
And I want everybody to know that I was clearly blamed through text message for the loss of the trophy.
Many times.
And that is just not true.
Well, there's a lot of people. It wasn't just us blaming him. But let's get this thing started. I am embarrassed, but, you know, to finish last year, but I'm honored to have the first pick this year. I actually did some extensive research in the offseason. Jamey Chadwell's offense likes to run the ball. So for pick 1, I'm going to go with a running back, Von Blue,
That's
baby.
my boy Blue.
That's my boy Blue. He was named to the Walter Camp preseason watch list, which is presented to the nation's most outstanding player, and that's one of the reasons why I picked him. Big expectations to me. But really, Vaughn, I just need you to stay healthy for the entire season. 3rd year on this Flames team. He's looking bigger and stronger than ever before. Guys, you don't go to these press conferences, but in fall camp, he said Cooley was good, but someone is going to make a name for themselves in this running back room and rush for over 1,000 yards. Boy, Blue, I hope it's you.
Okay, well, that's interesting you go running back because you did not draft a running back at all last year. So I'm glad that you're improving each year over year.
Learning.
I am also going to go with a running back. Juju Gray. It was really blue and gray. You know those two guys are going to be out there a lot. Went with Juju Gray. He wasn't a running back a year ago. He was a wide receiver. He's transitioning to that role this season. He might be the most explosive offensive player on the field every time he's out there. He can take it to the house from anywhere on the field. Last year, just 10 carries, but it averaged over 6 yards a pop. By the way, he's a guy that can be utilized because of that receiver background. Coming out of the backfield, they can utilize him in the pass game as well. I feel like he's going to be a guy the Flames are going to try to get the ball in his hands a lot and let him use that athleticism. So I'm going to go running back as well with my first pick and go Juju Gray.
That was a close one for me.
And now
the champ is on the clock. Back-to-back picks now for Joe.
Back-to-back for the champ. Time to speak. Hey, the guy in the years of the transfer portal, right? It's all about the transfer portal now. The guy that you don't know about, but I'm calling it right now, the number one receiver, Jamey, I am that person, is going to lead the league. He will lead the league.
Conference USA.
Will lead Conference USA
this
in
is a bold
receptions
prediction.
and in receiving yards coming from Colorado State. He's 6'1", 200 pounds. Last year at Colorado State, 36 catches for 386 yards and a TD. Had 125 yards against Fresno State. This is a tall receiver who will get 50-50 balls, and he can stretch the field, something that Liberty didn't have last year. So he could stretch the field and make the big plays downfield. Jamey, I am that person.
And he is a great person. We actually caught up with him on the Flame Central podcast, so
really
go back and listen to that conversation with him.
I think he's going to be a
awesome.
stud.
Now,
absolutely.
Back-to-back.
Okay.
We're going back-to-back,
It's a lot to handle
If we're going back-to-back, you got to pick who's the best. You always go back to, when they're sitting in the war rooms in the NFL, they say, who's the best player on the board?
Yeah, right.
When they're drafting, who's the best player on the board, right? The best player on the field.
I'm wearing
the best player on the field defensively is Brylan Green.
Okay.
Brylan Green is Brylan the Truth Green. Brylan the Truth Green, who led Conference USA in interceptions 2 years ago, is going to have another great season. So Yak Talk says person for most catches overall. Next one is Brylan Green comes back again this year and leads Conference USA in interceptions. And not only is he a ball hawk?
Yeah.
He brings the hammer, baby. He brings the hammer. He'll hit you, cause fumbles, the whole 9 yards. He is a point-scoring machine on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, no interceptions last year. That's not going to continue. You feel like he's going to get a few this season.
He's healthy. He's feeling strong. He's back. He's got a swagger.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. All right, back to me. And I want to point out before I make my pick, did you realize 3 of the first 4 picks were colors? Blue, gray, green.
Oh, yeah, we're coloring. We're covering the whole color
We're going to go the whole rainbow there. I will not have a color. We don't have any whites on the team this year. So I looked. We don't have any other colors I can pick from. So I'm going to go with Joe Carter at linebacker. Led the team in tackles a season ago with 88. He was actually on my fantasy team last year and was the only productive guy for me all season long. He's the heart of that defense. He's the guy directing traffic out there. He's always around the football, even in a deep linebacker room, which it is this year. And that's my only concern. There's a lot of talented guys in that linebacker room. You know what we're getting with him. I told you last year, a coach told me he's like Chick-fil-A. He always gets it right. And we saw that last season. Always in the right place, always around the ball. And a leading tackler from a year ago, I'm going to go on the defensive side and lock up Joe Carter here.
Really
Smoking Joe Carter is a baller.
He's great.
Yeah,
he's a baller.
And he's become such a big leader on this team.
Yeah.
Okay, rounding out the second round, I'm going with C.J. Bazell Jr. Brylan Green might wear the Joker mask a few times, but this Joker is the real deal. Like I said, these guys don't go to press conferences. There's just confidence floating around this
Watch
guy.
it on YouTube.
When C.J.
What do you think the YouTube's for?
Yeah. This might be my second pick, but he switched to number 1 this reason because he means business. He landed on the Phil Steele CUSA and Athlon Sports CUSA preseason all-conference first-team list. Last season, he ranked 4th in total tackles on this team, 2nd in assisted tackles. Remember the fumble he returned in that New Mexico State game? Hey, CJ, I don't care how you get me points. Just bring them all here, baby.
He was the preseason defensive player of the year a year ago.
Last year.
And the numbers maybe didn't really show that last year, but yeah, I think he's another guy like Brylan Green that could be due for a bounce back.
My inside sources told me that he's a good pick. So,
well, what did your inside sources tell you for your first pick in the third round?
First pick in the third round. You guys know I love a good name with alliteration. Casey Kane.
Oh.
Yes, I might be rolling the dice here, and I'm not a betting woman, but this UNLV transfer wide receiver is going to put up some big numbers for the Flames this year. Last season, like I said, he played 13 games at UNLV, finished with 7 receptions for 136 yards and 2 scores. He was a little banged up throughout camp, but I have a feeling he's saving the best for when it matters most, and that's under the lights of Williams Stadium. He's probably going to get me, I don't know, 3 or 4 touchdowns against Maine to start the season.
Oh, okay. Wow.
If we're doing bold predictions.
Let's just roll it out.
Yeah.
No, Casey Kane, I think, is going to be a great addition to this wide receiver room and a great addition to my team for my 3rd round pick.
Yeah, remember, he started his career at Texas.
Yes,
so,
he did.
yeah, high-profile kid coming out. I'm also going to draft a kid here in the 3rd round that started his career at a Power 4 team, and that is linebacker Aiden Vaughn. Started his career at Wisconsin, came to Liberty last year. He's been kind of a camp darling. You always get those guys every camp where they're like, well, you know who's really shown something? It's been this dude. Well, he's been that dude. Aiden Vaughn has been that guy this year in that linebacker room. Just 16 tackles a year ago. There is a little risk here taking a guy, again, deep linebacker room, taking somebody that hasn't proven a lot to this point. But I think he is a guy that's due for a breakout season. The coaches are raving about him. And in this format that we use,
Oh, boy.
in this league, you want guys, you can go for the interceptions, you can go for some sacks. I want guys that I think can just rack up tackles. Give me slow and steady, rack up points every week. That's what gets it done. So I'm going with another linebacker in Aiden Vaughn.
Going to me, I'm going to go. I'm heavy on the wide receiver room this year. And
Yeah.
I think a guy that...
You're going with the method I went with last year.
No running
Hey,
back.
don't you worry about my methods. Don't
How
you
did
worry-
that
don't you
work
worry
out
about
for
my
me,
methods.
Joe?
Don't
Just
you worry
keep
about
it coming. Keep
Dante
the receivers
Lee
coming.
Jr.
Yeah.
Dante Bruce Lee. He will chop
water.
you up.
Yeah.
Yes. Dante Lee Jr., those guys that they had a lot of expectations for, but this year, I believe, will be his breakout season. So you have Jamari Person to start it off to get the most catches, and then I think the next guy underneath, make the plays, tall receiver, had a little bit of movement to him, had 10 catches for 148 yards last year and a TD. I think Dante Bruce Lee could have a breakout season.
Top end speed
Top
for him
end
as
speed
well.
down the field and
Some say
quickness
he's
to
one
go
of the
with it.
fastest on the
Yeah.
team. And he just another year in this playbook. I think he'll really
100%.
have a breakout year. All right, in the 4th round, I'm going back to the defensive side.
Hold on.
Why are
Joe
you
doubles
jumping
up
the
here.
gun?
Sorry.
Look at her
Oh.
jumping the gun.
Sorry, I
jumping
get
the gun on
excited.
Yacht
Joe
Talk.
doubles up. Joe,
Nobody
first
jumps
pick
the
of the
guns
4th
on
round.
Yacht Talk and
No.
gets away with it. Thank you, Matthew.
Yeah, I got you.
Sorry.
I'm going back.
I'm just excited.
Well, I'm excited too because this guy right here brought a lot of excitement. When Liberty was last year was going through their whole receive, who's going to be the number one guy?
Yeah.
The guy who clearly emerged was Reese Smith. Reese Smith last year in 8 games had 18 receptions, 277 yards, and 4 TDs. And we all remember
The 3 touchdown
they were
game.
3 touchdowns against ECU.
That
and
was
you thought
the
to
Liberty
yourself,
After Dark game.
that
Yeah.
was the Liberty After Dark game. It was a packed house, and then it was an empty house.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of stuff that went on.
I
in
think that was the only
that-
week I actually scored points last
Yeah,
year.
in the rain delay. So, but Reese Smith, we really felt as if he was going to emerge as the number one guy after that game, and then he got hurt. So a healthy Reese Smith is somebody they know, somebody they trust, and somebody they definitely believe can be heavily involved in the game plan.
All right, Emily, it's my pick now.
I
so
know, I'm
easy,
sorry.
easy,
I'm sorry, the
easy.
pregnant lady just trying to take over.
You mentioned it earlier. This is a team that runs the ball a lot. And given that we're still a little uncertain about what the quarterback play will look like with this squad, that makes me lean back towards that running back room, and I'm going to go with the redshirt freshman, Caden Williams. Maybe you haven't heard of Caden Williams. Last year, just 14 carries, most of those coming in the bowl game at the end of the year that a lot of us would like to forget. But this is a guy going back to even this time last year. I had coaches saying, hey, watch this kid. This kid has a toughness at the running back position that is really going to help us as we move forward. And I think he provides something that Von Blue and Juju Gray do not, in that he's a run between the tackles guy. He can pound it up in there. That could give him some goal line opportunities as well this season. So young guy, hasn't proven anything yet, but I think he's going to be kind of part of that 3-headed monster in the running back room. And so I'm going to go with Caden Williams and bank on the fact that he's going to get a lot of opportunities here, especially early in the year.
Okay, finally,
Now you
people,
can
it's
pick.
back to me. I'm
Golly.
also going with the Williams, but on the defensive side, my good friend Biggie Smalls once said, "Mo money, mo problems. Mo Williams, mo problems." You guys like that? I knew Joe Yock would like
I
that
love
one.
when you have to stop and say, do you like that? Yeah.
Okay, people, come on. Hey, this guy, if he stays focused and locked in and hopefully healthy, I think he got
Yes,
banged up a
yeah.
little early last year, and he never really recovered from that injury. So I think hopefully coming into this year, he'll be a threat in that Flames secondary. When you see him, he's probably going to have that Joker mask on. He did lead the Flames with 3 interceptions last year, despite, not being fully healthy all year. So I'm going with Mo Williams.
I'll tell you what, the guy.
Is it mine again?
Hold on, Emily doubles up now.
See
that it can happen.
This is how this
did
works.
That for you.
Yeah,
this is how this works. So snake means
yeah,
it's my turn.
Yeah.
My final pick
She's
of
explaining
the
that.
2025
That's the best part.
Flames fantasy draft is going to be Elijah Canyon. Okay, he was on my team last year, and you guys just mentioned the rain delay game. I remember, I was catching up with him in the players' lounge. I'm like, look, you're on my team, and you're, not putting up the points that I need you to do. So I think we have, we're
a lot of pressure being on
now.
Emily's team. She will track you down.
She will track you down. So your GM, she'll cut you mid-season.
Yeah, I don't want to cut you, but I'm putting a lot of faith in Elijah Canyon. I have a feeling he's going to have a bigger role on this Flames offense this year. He was ranked 3rd on the team in receptions, 2nd in receiving yards and touchdowns. So this 6'4" Florida native is going to hopefully be a red zone threat for me. Yeah. And that rounds out my team.
All right, I'll put my final pick, 5th and final pick. Listen, I'm self-aware. I know I have faults, okay? Not many, but a few.
Wow. We're rolling on this, right?
And one of those faults is I fall in love with potential, right? When I do an NFL fantasy draft, I always look and I end up with like 5 rookies. That's not a good strategy, but I fall in love with this guy could be something. Here's my guy that I think has a lot of potential and could really be special if it all comes together for him this season, and it's wide receiver Darius Copeland. Played 3 games last year before an ACL injury. He was a guy they talked about using in kind of the Aaron Bedgood hybrid receiver running back role. Very explosive. The only thing that has held him back throughout his career has been injury. In high school, his senior year, now with the Flames, he looked really good in the scrimmage this past Saturday that we went to. And so I think he's a guy in a deep receiver room. Again, we're not sure who's going to be getting on the ball, what that'll look like. I think he is an explosive athlete that could really break out this season. I'm taking Darius Copeland, and hopefully he's able to remain healthy this year.
Yeah, we'll see. The best ability is availability.
That's true. Final pick of the entire draft now.
The receiver room, we are going to find out this year.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's a lot of receivers being drafted.
A lot of bodies.
We're about ready to find out who's going to emerge out of that room.
And hopefully someone does, because you don't have a running back.
I'm going with my guys will. Okay, that's just how it rolls. Okay, so what you do when you're the champ, you build a roster. My guy, we're gonna call it, and I ran into this guy into the airport, and I know the Flame Central is gonna do a story on this guy because he's gonna have an incredible year, and it's Christian, the comeback kid. Bodner.
Oh, I love it.
Is going to be a guy who's going to have a great season. You go back to, I believe it was the FIU game in overtime, hits a quarterback right in the mouth, fumble, Flames win. Christian Bodner is going to be back. He's going to be healthy. Last 5 games, last year, 13 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 1 interception, had that big forced fumble as a preseason All-Conference USA third team. This guy is going to be around the football, and it's great just after having a rough medical condition. It's great to see him back on the field doing big things.
Yeah, that FIU game was his last game last season. So
and
he
he
really
is up
didn't
for
play.
the comeback player of the year in college football.
I mean, Yacht Talk's basically going to nail down the top receiver in the conference. He's going to have the top defensive player in the conference, and then to finish it off, a little ice cream to go with it. Christian Bodner is going to be the comeback player of the conference. So when you're sitting around the Thanksgiving table,
oh my gosh,
come late November, and Matt, when you're putting that turkey and you throw a little gravy topping on, you can look up the family, you can look up the friends and say, when I look back on it, we heard it at Yacht Talk first.
Okay, let's take a look at our full teams for the
rosters.
2025 Flames Fantasy League final rosters.
This
here.
was the most difficult year, I think, to ever do this.
We say that every year.
And this was. It was.
There's
so many question marks.
I think we need to do more research.
There's so many question marks coming in. Here's one thing I will say.
This is true.
You saw the teams that we have. There were some guys that you could say were snubbed from this list that are pretty, that you would say they have a chance to have a really good season as well. How about Jacob Jenkins at tight end?
Yes.
Like, that's the guy we didn't draft. He could be the first guy in terms of free agent or if somebody gets hurt that you end up
drafting. That's a red zone weapon right there.
Wide receiver Tyson Mobley.
Yep.
I mean, he's somebody
he had 29 catches last year.
I know.
Yeah.
He was high on my list,
Corey
too.
Jones defensively. I think he had more defensive snaps than anybody on this team. So there are still some talented guys that we did not get to. but that are kind of just waiting in the wings when after that 4-week mark and we realized we didn't know what we were doing when we drafted, we're going to be snatching those guys up.
Elijah Hopkins, I feel like, might be on that list. Michael Pollard.
Say what you want to say about the transfer portal, but going into a season when all these teams have so many new faces and so many different looks, that it creates an excitement for who is going to emerge from the group of transfers or new players that are coming in. So it's fun to watch. It's going to be fun to watch. So
it's not only excitement for the season, it's excitement for the Flames Fantasy League as well. 100%. And despite me going on maternity leave at some point, I'm still locked and loaded and focused on this, guys. So don't worry. I'm bringing that trophy. Well, I don't know. We got to
find it first. But
find it before we can.
We will keep everyone updated. Every week on the show, we'll be updating the scores and standings so that everyone knows exactly where we stand moving forward throughout the year. And then maybe we buy a new trophy at the end of the season.
Yeah, and more trash talk will be had on the Flame Central podcast, so make sure you check that out as well. Hey, we're not done talking about the Flames, but let's focus on some more hard-hitting news. Liberty landed 2 players on the 2025 Hero Sports preseason Group of 5 All-American teams. Starting center Aaron Fenimore was a second-team preseason selection, while tight end Jacob Jenkins was named to the third team. They were 2 of just 7 Conference USA players to make the list. Fenimore has received some high preseason praise after a breakout season in 2024, where he started all 12 games at center and led the offensive line in total snap count at 825. Jenkins finished the 2024 season with 10 receptions for 99 yards and now enters his 3rd year on the mountain. Excited to see what both of these players can do for this Flames offense this season.
Yeah, a lot of intrigue, a lot of excitement heading into this season. And if you want to see these Flames in person, get your tickets today. Don't wait. Head over to lufootball.com. Liberty opens against Maine on August 30th, and then the can't-miss showdown with JMU on September 20th. Just 2 of the 6 home games this year. Get your tickets, and we'll see you at Williams Stadium. Well, while we wait for football to begin, thankfully other sports are getting underway. First up, women's soccer, a program that has developed into a mid-major powerhouse. They would open the season with a convincing road win against East Carolina, and then would hope for a similar result at JMU. And it wouldn't take long for the Lady Flames to get on the board. In just the 5th minute, Ivy Garner sends one to Avonlea Monteith. She would finish the job, 1-0 Liberty. But JMU would respond quickly. They would tie it up in the 9th minute, and it would actually go up 2-1 before the half. Jump to the second half now. Liberty still down, looking for the equalizer. No surprise, it was Ivy Garner stepping up. She's a stud. Her 2nd goal of the year ties it at 2-2. Then in the final minutes, still tied, LU trying to make something happen. A fantastic pass to Hallie Engel. The header into the back of the net. Hold on. No. They call her offsides. They take away the goal. A somewhat controversial ending, but Liberty does escape with a draw nonetheless and remains unbeaten on the young season.
That kind of solid start, and you get yourself an invite on the Flame Central podcast presented by Ortho Virginia. We covered a variety of topics with redshirt senior midfielder Bree Myers, from team chemistry to pregame worship to season expectations. We also discussed the Lady Flames' first 2 home opponents, Virginia and Virginia Tech. How important is it to play this top Power 4 talent, and what can that do for you guys moving forward?
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a big challenge that we're ready for. I think just learning from the film and everything from those games, I think is definitely going to be huge going into our conference season and just giving us that confidence that we need to execute in the final moments.
Give Flames Nation a pitch here. Why you need folks in the stands, what it would mean to have a great home field environment for you guys in that game.
Well, big team, we need the energy, and we're prepared for this. I think this is a big opportunity for us, and having our home fans at our home field against a big top 15 team is going to be extraordinary. So really excited for that.
Flames Nation, do you need another reason to be at that women's soccer home opener? It's Bree's birthday, so bring your party hats and cheer the Lady Flames to victory over UVA. Oh, and don't forget to catch the rest of the Flame Central podcast presented by Ortho Virginia. Matt is working overtime with Joe on his summer of endless vacations. He broke down the numbers for this Liberty football quarterback battle, and it's good stuff. So listen, Apple, Spotify, or watch it on the Liberty Flames YouTube channel.
All right, turning to another fall sport that's getting ready to start the season, Liberty Volleyball will play its first regular season game August 29th, the first game with first-year head coach Jeremy White. So with a new coaching staff and a lot of turnover on the roster, where might the Lady Flames finish in conference play this year? Well, if you believe the CUSA preseason poll, and I don't, they'll finish in the middle of the pack. Liberty predicted to finish 6th this season, one spot better than a year ago. The Lady Flames did not have anyone named to the preseason all-conference team. Here's what the entire preseason poll looks like. Everybody looking up at Western Kentucky. They and UTEP, the only teams garnering any first-place votes. Meanwhile, newcomer to the conference, Delaware, was picked to finish 3rd. Emily, I'm going to tell you, don't sleep on this Liberty volleyball team.
Hey, I'm with you. I think the Lady Flames are going to finish better than 6th place with the leadership and its success that Coach Jeremy White brings to this program.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to watch. Hey, about out of time. For any stories you might have missed, maybe you want to watch the show back a second time, go to libertyflamecentral.com.
And you know what, Matt?
What?
I think Joe Yock is actually coming back on the Flames
right?
Central podcast this week.
Yeah.
You know, now that football is like actually officially here and starting,
Yeah.
he's back on the podcast. No, it should be some pretty good stuff. So be sure to check out the Flames Central podcast every Monday. We're out of time. For Matt, I'm Emily. We'll see you right back here next week.